Hello and welcome to a game of StarLadder. We are in Season 6, it is day number 20, and we see a Na'Vi taking on RoX.KIS. Now we might have a short issue, because RoX.KIS with their first ban, oh there we go, never mind, we are here, never mind, everybody is here, including the teams. So we are here with 3 people, providing you with coverage, not just me, Sheever, but also our statsman of today. It is K-poptosis, who will be giving you all the stats of this game, all kind of facts and interesting things that you want to know. You won't hear him or see him, but you only see what he does. But the one that you will hear is, of course, my co-caster, Kanaz. Welcome to the broadcast. And thank you. Yes.
Yeah, good to be here. Glad, happy.
Yeah, you're lucky for you. The game was lucky for me too. That the game was starting a bit later than planned, obviously, as we are now 15 minutes past the official starting time, which is also the reason why Na'Vi got reducted a bit of bonus time, and not have had the full 140 seconds bonus time that RoX.KIS already used most of, actually. But yeah, we are here with Na'Vi. They banned out the Wisp and RoX.KIS on the Radiant side. They banned out the Visage and now also the Darkseer. So what are your expectations for this game?
Well, Na'Vi have looked pretty strong lately, so probably looking for them to take it. But RoX, they're no slouches either, and they've been moving around their roles a lot, trying to find their groove again. So hopefully they can put up a pretty good fight, and we can get a close game. I always just want a close game.
I agree. We've seen some gimmicky things from Na'Vi lately, and that doesn't always work out, obviously. So who knows? Maybe RoX.KIS can profit something from that. We've seen RoX.KIS doing okay lately as well. They've run a bit of standard things that we've seen. They've kind of stuck to their guns, so to speak, since the patch. And have been able to get a lot of more gyrocopter action for BZZ, who has been denied gyrocopter and lifestealer for a long time. But now that he is not first ban material anymore, he has been enjoying that he can play it again, and he will play it this game as well. We'll actually first pick it. That's how valued they think the gyrocopter is. We still have the lifestealer in the pool, even though he's not that great anymore on the lane. But we'll see what Na'Vi is going for, because I think with their last couple of drafts that they have done, we can't really say anything about it, or at least not that much.
Yeah, it's hard to really guess what Na'Vi are going to want nowadays. I think they're trying a lot of things out because of the new patch, and they just want to get a feel for what's going on with all of the new heroes. Who's Time of Dying for
That
Na'Vi?
is Funnick.
Funnick, so Havost
Yes.
is missing.
Havost is missing, and Armen is a stand-in that Na'Vi has actually used, I think, once before, when also Poppy was missing, and when Kuroki was just with the 3 Russian-speaking, or Ukrainians, that is. He was having Arben as a stand-in as well. It's a German player who has played with Kuroki for a long time. They've been together in teams. They've just been in the scene together for a long time. So should be having some good synergy there. And there goes Na'Vi. They indeed make sure that we cannot predict what they go for. They first pick Mirana. We have seen Kunkka quite often lately. We'll see what he does here. I wouldn't be surprised. We've actually seen it from Na'Vi, I think once before, when they ran a Kunkka support.
I don't remember that particular game. It's certainly possible you could do it in that lane pretty easily. But this is really strange to see Mirana first picked. They did buff Mirana a little bit recently. She's been buffed actually quite a bit in the recent months, trying to get her back up to the level of popularity she once had, like the International 1 era, when she got picked like almost every game. But she is a lot stronger now. Moonlight Shadow's a lot more castable than it was before. It used to have an enormous mana cost, and that kind of deterred players from ever even picking it up. Nowadays you can get it. The arrow is supposed to be a little bit easier to land because it's harder to see. And we'll see if they pick something up to maybe combo with it, if they're going to run Mirana as a farmer, if they kind of roam her. She's pretty decent as a roamer if you can land arrows, but you kind of expect professional players to be a little heads up when it comes to getting hit by arrows.
It has 2 edges, of course. You expect professional players to land arrows, but you also expect them to know how to dodge them. And roaming Mirana is something that you see often in pubs. Of course, this is not a pub, so I'm still kind of curious to see how she's going to be run. And I think, actually, I mean, you mentioned Tier 1 that she was picked up often. I think it was a signature hero of Havost at that time.
Yeah,
he is not playing.
Yeah, like every game it feels like. In the off, it used to be off-lane Mirana, like every game for Havost.
But you know, he's not playing, so we're kind of curious to see how they're doing it. And also, of course, who is going to take up that carry role, as I believe Armen is more like the mid player for people, but you can't put I mean, Dandy is gonna be mid. So is Armen, what kind of role will he take on, and who will take over the farming role? We know that Kuroki, he used to be a carry player a while back, so we might see him taking on that role. As we have got a Tree and Protector and a Puck band out for Na'Vi, and the Shadow Demon and the Chen band out on the side of RoX. So 2 supports band out, of course, one of them being that brilliant setup hero for the Torrents. With the Bane already on the side of RoX, there's also no Bane set up for that Torrent, but there's still, of course, a lot of supports that we see that can still provide that setup, and one of those is one that's also been in favor lately. It is the Vengeful Spirit. We've seen the Vengeful Spirit in a lot more games than we used to, but we will see the next Assassin. So he also has, of course, that stun, the AoE stun even, with the Impale that can also set up some Torrents, and in theory could be more than just a support.
Yeah, it's hard to really tell what they're going to want to do. They pick up this Nyx Assassin now, and he could be played as a support as well, or in the mid lane. We know that we've seen Na'Vi run mid Nyx in the hands of Dendi many, many times, but they've also run him support a ton, so their lineup is kind of hard to say what they're going to want to do. I really think we're going to see Kunkka in the mid lane. I think that's his best position right now. They could run him as a farmer in the tri-lane as well. Support probably not happening with this lineup thus far, since it's looking like they're probably going to be short on cores if they try and run him support and Nyx's support.
Yeah.
But they could do it. It's just really what they want to do. And with this Mirana pick, it's really hard to tell because it's been so long since we really see Mirana played. I don't know what they're going to want to do with it.
Yeah, she could still, in theory, go on the offlane. I mean, her leap offers her some survivability, of course. We could see her in the safe lane, we could see her roaming. It is really up to Na'Vi to decide what they want to do with that, obviously. They now do pick up the Lina, so we have got even stronger roaming combination. They could even go 4-man roam right now, but, you know, in terms of the heroes fitting really well together, because you got an Impale, Light Strike Array, the Torrent will be there as well, and then Mirana will be able to land an arrow, of course, and that's a dead hero. The question is, in which composition are we going to see them on the lane? Because we could see Lina and the Nyx Assassin, we could see Lina and the Mirana. Might not be as solid. We could see Kunkka and Lina, Kunkka and Nyx Assassin, Kunkka and Mirana. It's all possible.
10 seconds remaining.
But they leave their options open, and probably also going to surprise RoX. I mean, in theory, we don't really have a solid solo mid hero just yet. But then again, both Kunkka and Mirana could be run as a solo mid. The Clockwork for RoX, we know that Yol plays a mean support Clockwork, but they've had some role changes lately. So we've got Yol on the offlane. He got a bit promoted from being the support to be the offlane, so he might still play that Clockwork. We've got Dread lately being the carry, who used to be the offlane. We got Solo being the support, who used to be the solo mid. And we got BZZ playing the solo mid. Now, however, there is a Gyrocopter, and that is BZZ's signature hero. So will he then be going back to that carry role? Probably. And maybe they go back to their old roles now that they also have that Clockwork secured. But they're thinking hard on this next pickup. After this one, we'll have another banning phase, so that people can ban out one last hero against each other.
Yeah, it's hard to even guess what RoX are going to want to do with their lineup now. Because we saw BZZ on Magnus the other day in the solo mid role. Yep. And of course we've seen BZZ a million times on Gyrocopter playing the hard carry. So we'll wait and I guess just sort of see. We can think about what their lineup's going to be, but we don't really need to guess on who's playing what. They'll tell us. Eventually they'll have to tell us that answer. I would kind of expect to see BZZ back on the Gyrocopter. And I think Dread in the mid lane on Magnus.
Yeah, or Solo. Solo used to play him very often, but Solo is one of those players that, you know, he has a tendency to overextend a bit, so if he doesn't win mid, he's probably gonna suicide often. But if he wins mid, he'll be able to do good. But winning mid on Magnus is not really something that you can count on, especially not against Dendi, but Magnus on its own. The reason that he's often mid is because he doesn't lose mid, and that's great, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't win mid, or that you are winning mid. So
10 seconds.
We have seen Magnus played by Solo very often. It's just not the right type of hero for him, I believe. So we'll see what they'll do with that. We have a Leshrac ban in the end still, as they are expecting that Clockwork to be offlane, and then still, of course, needing a secondary disable after that Nightmare coming off after the Bane. And we have one more ban out for RoX. It's probably gonna be going towards a mid lane hero, but it really depends on what RoX is expecting that Mirana is gonna do.
10
yeah,
seconds
and
remaining.
no matter really what Mirana does, if you look at Navi's lineup, they have a million stuns.
Remaining.
Kunkka has 2 AoE stuns, Nyx has an AoE stun, and then sort of a pseudo stun in the form of Spike Carapace. Lina has an AoE stun, Mirana has Arrow. They have a lot of lockdown, and Nature's Prophet the last pick. So one of those heroes looks like it's going mid, either Mirana or Kunkka, and the other is going to be farming Tri-Lane. You think Lina's gonna be mid? They're gonna ride a Tri-Lane with like support Kunkka?
No, I just would really like to see Dendi solo mid Lina. That would be very enjoyable for me to watch.
Didn't he do that the other day?
I think he did. But I don't know. Do you really want to try that twice up against a Magnus? It's not really an easy matchup for Lina to have, but it would be very enjoyable. We could see Mirana mid as well as Kunkka mid. It's just up to what they want. I mean, in theory, we've seen every single one of the heroes that Na'Vi has as solo mid before.
Enchantress.
And there comes the Enchantress.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever played Nature's Prophet solo mid.
Yeah, they have. Well, maybe not with Na'Vi, but it has.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know Nature's Prophet has. I mean, I don't think Na'Vi have ever run Nature's Prophet solo mid. I don't think I've ever seen Dendi play Nature's Prophet. But Dendi's on Mirana, so it looks like it's solo mid Mirana unless they decide to move things around. You're hoping they swap to Lina solo mid? I'll be honest, I would like it too.
Yeah, they're trying to throw RoX off guard, perhaps. It could happen. One could hope for it. One more pickup for RoX before we jump ourselves into the game. I mean, we do see BZ on indeed his gyrocopter. Let's see who's playing what. We give Na'Vi another chance to swap. And the series is 2 to 10. Na'Vi winning 10 out of the 12 encounters that these two teams have. That's a bit of a tough deal to take for RoX. But we'll see. We have got Dread playing the Magnus as you anticipated. That would leave Solo on the offlane Clockwork. Never mind. Yes. Never mind. They actually... I was gonna say, they swapped and then they swapped back. Thank you! So Solo will still be on the Magnus. He'll be going mid, Dread will be on the offlane, so they swap back to their old roles. Dread on the offlane Clockwork. It will be Yul playing the Enchantress in the jungle. On the bottom lane it will be Vanscore playing the Bane in this game. And of course BZZ on a signature gyrocopter on the safe lane farming. And it looks like he'll be having a fun time, as in there won't be anything so far up against him in the lane. And now we leave Na'Vi to introduce for you.
Alright, for Na'Vi we're going to have Dendi on the Mirana. He's currently up in the dire jungle, but probably going to be heading to the mid lane. The stand-in, RMN, going to be playing the Nyx Assassin. Puppy, going to be on the support Lina, up in that tri-lane as well. And the farmer for the tri-lane will be Kuroki on the Kunkka. Finally, offlane, going to be handled by Time of Dying, who is actually Phonic, playing the Nature's Prophet.
And of course you can now vote in the chat, !, vote, and then whichever team you think will win. It is case sensitive though, so Na'Vi or RoX. Case sensitive with only the capital letter at the start being a capital letter. Awkward. Yes, so you can vote. Go vote. It looks like safe tri-lanes indeed going to be there, so Dread won't be having an easy time. The downside of Clockwork, I mean, normally you have an offlane that can just rotate into the jungle at some point with not that much farm and, get some stuff there, but Dread on his Clockwork kind of can't, so he has to be very careful. Did pick up the flare first, so also can't be that aggressive in terms of having the cogs as an escape route. So we'll just see what he does with what he has right now. This mid lane is going to be interesting. Indeed, Na'Vi, Dendi playing the Mirana with Solo on the Magnus. Won't be having an easy time here. Should indeed be able to survive, because that's what he does. As mentioned earlier, he doesn't really win lanes, but he doesn't lose them either. But it's going to be tough against Mirana. Mirana is just one of those heroes with a very long range and will be able to make Solo's life miserable.
Yeah, and if he ever happens to land a lucky arrow that Solo doesn't dodge, it could be a very easy kill. So we'll see if they are able to chase him down, and Leap is like a good ability to chase after Skewer if Solo tries to get away. So it works out pretty well, I think, for just trying to zone him out of lane and maybe set up a kill. And we see no cogs on Dread because he wants to get farm, and he can't even... Cogs won't save him against this lane. There are 3 stuns. Yeah. If he gets stunned by Nyx, he dies against this lane pretty much, because the next 2 stuns will follow up, and then he'll take a lot of magic damage and some right clicks in the meantime. So he needs to be very careful, and just decide to go the flare to try and harass the pulls and stuff, because it's all he really can do at this point.
Yeah, in the meantime, then you're getting harassed a bit. We did see him holding on to skill points until he actually leveled to 2, just to make sure that if he got ganked, he would be able to leap, or if there was an opening, he would be able to arrow. But in the end, not using any of his mana just yet. Does pop a salve, tries to dodge a flare, doesn't really succeed, but the attempt was nice. One thing that we have to, of course, keep an eye on is which creep Yul sets there to try and make Dendy's life tough one there. We already saw the tornado going through, for example. Just annoyance, and Dendy pretty low on HP because of it. He can't get a bottle just yet either. He only now gets it. Pretty late bottle, as Solo already has a bottle. Actually did pick up the Invis rune just now also. Arrow though, up on Solo. He gets just attacked, just right clicks from Denny. Just the auto attacks though. No Star Storm just yet being used. Oh, and that's the Invis rune. Navi, of course, or Denny saw that happening, but yeah, we'll just be extra careful because of it. Yeah, this is the thing. It seems like Denny's getting harassed quite a bit here. He is ahead on last hits, 11 for 8, while Solo is sitting on 7 to 2. But it's definitely not an easy lane for him to survive with all the spam coming out from that Magnus, and that he of course can throw out with the bottle that he has.
Yeah, Dendy getting the best of last hits though, and he's not really in danger of dying. You can kind of estimate how often Solo's going to be able to shockwave you, and just make sure you're a little bit more careful whenever the sort of later in your health bar shockwaves come out. So he's not really threatened of dying unless someone else moves around. If someone gets in the mid lane though, he could die very quickly.
True. So far no real rotations apart from Puppy coming towards the bottom lane. He is thinking probably about warding, or yeah, he can't really set up a gank by himself. He needs something else. We had got Funnick, he TP'd towards that bottom lane to stop the push that was incoming from RoX, who decided to lay down some pressure. Of course, they waste a bit of time for Funnick for that, because he can't really get as much as he would get in the jungle during this time, and therefore his farm a bit slowed down with that. And Puppy actually still thinking about doing something, but so far he's just roaming around in nothingness.
Yeah, they saw him with the ward on the map near the lower rune.
Yeah.
So not too much is going to come on there. Yeah, they're pinging him like crazy again, but he is stacking ancients. So it's at least something for the time being for him to do. And
yeah, in the meantime, Dendy misses an arrow. Starstorm will still go through though, although the extra star did not hit on Solo. There's no extra damage there, and he does. I mean, he is one of those people that does empty his bottle. One thing that we have seen since, of course, the bottle changed, that the courier just flies really slow with an empty bottle. We've seen people going for drinking 2 of their charges and then sending the 1 charged bottle still back, just to make sure that the courier won't be losing extra speed there. So that's quite interesting that we see that. I mean, Solo is confident enough that he can survive during the time that he won't have that bottle for him.
Have people really been doing that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Asian Dota, I believe. Oh, Smoke Up, Yul and Vanskor going in. They have got the Troll as well. There is, of course, a leap up on Dendy, and he is looking pretty good in terms of HP as well. And he has picked up his level 6, so no Moonlight just yet, so that won't be an escape for him. Here comes the Nightmare. Leap will be first, though. Troll looking for the net, but after the leap, Dendy mighty fast and gets himself away.
Yeah, so not able to set up the kill. Leap is just a very good ability for getting away, and he actually chose
Puppy! He will go down. That's the first blood going the way of RoX.KIS. Homing missile hit level 2. Puppy. In the meantime, also the clockwork goes down, so slightly unfortunate timing for Na'Vi for not getting that first blood with our men getting the kill upon Dread. Kuroki, of course, able to help out. Didn't even use a boat for that one, but yeah, that was a bit of out of position Lina, and BZZ just able to profit from that. Use the cooldown, homing missile, rocket barrage. Still got stunned, but you know that didn't save Puppy anymore.
Yep. So he goes. They trade kills. It's a little bit more valuable. Oh, arrow on Solo.
Very long duration though, but they don't go in on it.
Yeah, it just annoys him for getting the rune a little bit, but not going to be able to actually set up anything. It looks like they're actually smoking bot.
Is in some trouble. He already ate his way through the sprout though, and the impale on the torrent didn't hit, so he gets himself away. And where was the smoke, did you say?
No, it wasn't smoke. I thought they were smoking bottom, but they weren't actually smoked out.
Ah.
They were moving down bottom together and then backed off.
Okay, we do have another arrow up on Solo again. This time there's Puppy with the Life Strike Raid that followed up on it, but there's still not enough damage.
Yeah, Dendy was short on mana to use Starfall, and he has that maxed out, so it's where a lot of his damage is right now. And didn't have his bottle because he had the crow.
Our men might be in some trouble. They chose to go on the Nature's Prophet first, so Funny goes down, boat flies in. Doesn't really do that much. Does offer our men an escape route though, buying him a bit of time perhaps. So they end up taking down a Nature's Prophet. Solo coming into the top lane for that one. He has got an RP, by the way. He hasn't used it just yet. He's level 7. If you compare that to Mirana, of course, then he also level 7, just slightly ahead. In terms of the last hits, I mean, there's a strong reason why you see that. There's 19 denies up on Dendy's Mirana right now, and Magnus only has 5 denies, so that's a big difference right there.
Yeah, there are Dendy outlasting Solo quite heavily at this point. So not really surprising, again, Magnus, he doesn't usually lose lane, but he doesn't really win it either. And Dendy kind of just outlasts, hitting him pretty heavily. Yol's actually in the mid lane now and is Enchantress trying to just soak up some of this experience since Solo is moving out of the lane at the moment.
Yeah, where did he go? He went bottom. Doesn't look like he can find someone though. He smoked up to try and maybe get someone that was TPing bottom. Maybe he wants to go for Funnick again. There goes actually TP. It is Dendy. That would be a really nice one to get. And he just gets the quick wave and runs away with it though. In the meantime, tower goes down the top lane. It was the first tower to drop. But it did get denied, so RoX.KIS doesn't lose that much from it. Oh, Denny is in trouble. Here comes the RP. They get him. Cooldown as well. Rocket Barrage. Some illusions to soak up some damage, but it doesn't matter. BZZ with the second kill of the game. For him, that is. Was the 4th kill of the game. And Solo, he gets an RP. Well, that's a solo RP. I don't know what the smiley face is for. Oh, nightmare. They can't go in on that. Level 4 support versus level 4 support. There's not really any combat there.
Yeah, that was just really kind of aggressive by Denny to walk back up through the river that way towards the bottom lane after he pulled the creep away. Like, they had full vision of Denny the entire time, and he just started walking back towards lane. Maybe thought he was safe, but clearly was not because Magnus was there. Just giving a kill.
KuroKy diving very fast, very far rather. He's gonna run into Bane soon though. TP out, will not be able to do it because that is a nightmare. They're just waiting, the cogs are there. KuroKy looks to be going down. Shockwave Torn, he still does quite a bit of damage to Dread, but it doesn't matter. Dread in the end the one that picks up the kill of RoX. 4-1 right now on the kill score. They are also ahead in gold. Even though there's one tower down on the side of RoX, of course, there's also now a tower down on the side of Na'Vi. And one did get the knight, the other one did not get the knight, and actually that was the Gyro that picked up the last hit for that, so he is very, very far ahead on net worth right now. And in terms of experience also, whoa, Sprout up, Rocket Barrage, Funnick, gonna be regretting that maybe a bit. The cooldown comes down and the Starstorm will end up taking the kill, but look at Funnick, really low, and in comes Dread, the flare still hitting, the cogs hits on 2, Denny doesn't have a leap, maybe if someone else comes a hook shot, stuns Denny for a little while, but there comes another Starstorm, the extra star though, not hitting up on Dread anymore, and he runs for his life right now. There is a solo coming in, and Dendy ends up not chasing that, realizing that that could have been his death as well if he continued diving that one.
Yeah, he needs to actually get out. Solo's about to have RP.
Oh, oh, he missed it though. Nice leap from Dendy. Shockwave will still hit, but the extra movement speed that Dendy now has. Oh, really? Yes, that should be possible. We'll allow him to get away. So, Impale up on the Bane. Torrent there as well. Both coming in because they can. And that is going to be KuroKy with a kill. So, now Na'Vi is taking a bit of extra control of the map. Just making sure that RoX doesn't feel too confident in doing, in going in on Na'Vi themselves. And, wow. 74% win rate since adding Funnick and KuroKy. That's a very high win rate that Na'Vi have since then.
I think not.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people kind of doubt that. It feels like people still are complaining like, oh, why'd they change players? They're not doing well still. But with a winner like that, they're doing a lot better than they were.
Yeah, oh, hook shot in up on KuroKy though. Cooldown coming down as well. Here comes a TP in, but is it going to be in time? Not to save the Kunkka that is, and a TP though is still there. Might still be able to take down Dread, but yeah, he has to back off. Moonlight Shadow will keep our men safe from the flak cannons of BZZ. But another kill going the way of RoX. They try to keep the pressure on. And now the mechanism up on Yol. He went for a fast mech after having those Brian boots. And that will allow them to fight even more than they already have.
Yeah, they're going to have that heal. And they can start grouping up and taking big fights pretty easily. Na'Vi still need a little bit more farm on some of their heroes to really do too much. They're doing okay. They're all like, they're 2nd through 4th in the net worth list on their cores. But BZZ is just so far ahead, over 1,000 gold ahead at 12 minutes is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, and the only upside for Na'Vi is that they have their 3 cores right behind that, so there's nobody of RoX.KIS that is actually above those 3 cores apart from BZZ. But then again, I mean, it's not really needed. If that Magnus still gets a Blink Dagger, he is going to be just as valuable as a Nature's Prophet with a bit more extra net worth just because of his ulti and the way it works. And well, right now I think RoX is looking pretty confident, looking pretty good. But I'm still waiting for the point when Na'Vi has got more core items up and starts maybe 5-manning. They do now have also their 2 supports at level 6, so the Vendetta is there for our men who's trying to look for someone. We'll find Yol here. Yol, who did not pick in any point in Untouchable, which is really strong against the Nyx Assassin because he won't be able to really do his Vendetta all that fast at all. But they end up backing off, realizing that there were more people around there. And also, of course, now Vanscore with a level 6, as all supports have got their ulti right now. And a smoke up for RoX.
Yeah, and that's surprising that Yol hasn't actually grabbed Untouchable. It's kind of common to not see that kill on Funnick in the top lane.
Yeah,
smoke.
That was just the result of the smoke. Very, very clear done. I mean, that was just a hookshot in. Cogs around there, not even needed. And a very clear kill. Then he doesn't want to go in there. In the meantime, bottom lane, TP's coming in, the Impale still hits up on Solo, and then Laguna Blade. Whoa, Solo, no chance to do anything since he came in. BCC though still wants to go for it, gets a call down, hits up on just our man, but that was a Spike Carapace hit. Homing Missile still chases down. Light Strike Array doesn't hit. Impale does hit up on 2. They might try to go in. Dragon Slave, Torrent, both. Here they come. BZZ will go down. Double kill for Karoki's Kunkka as Bane also not able to stay alive. And the only one that lives on the side of RoX.KIS all over the map is Dread, who wasn't bottom, who was still sitting top.
Yeah, and Yol actually died in the mid lane to Dendi. So that was a kill over there as well. Big fights going on for Na'Vi. They take 4 kills for nothing, and now they're going to get the top. They get the tower as well. Pretty huge for them in terms of control of this game.
Yeah, very huge. We still have the tier 1 tower mid standing. That gives a bit of extra map control to RoX. But right now, Na'Vi, they are clearing out the jungle of RoX. So they are indeed just taking the entire map control. There are some wards up for RoX, but Na'Vi has just got this under control. They are also farming their own jungle. That's where Dendi is right now. So they're just making sure that they're just trying to take as much away from RoX as possible after that one fight, so on the back of that fight. And with the gold graph dropping, or plummeting rather, going towards the 3k in favor of Na'Vi, not really that much, but still substantial amount in just one team fight. They do scout out Armin, they did see him there in his Vendetta, so they know that they can't really go out on the bottom lane for now. Experience graph after that fight also shows the drop towards the 4k, so yeah, Na'Vi taking a pretty good fight. And I mean, we've seen RoX taking good fights as well, obviously, but not like this, and not with getting a tower in return for it.
Yeah, Na'Vi take the first kind of substantial lead of the game. Yeah. RoX have been ahead for quite some time, just leading basically on kills, but when they lose a fight like that where they kind of chase too far, they end up getting double stunned and then comboed by Na'Vi with all of the stuns I was talking about at the beginning of the game. Just takes too much damage. In mid lane they're going on Dendi, but he's going to get away.
Yeah, in the meantime there's a lot of people sitting around there from Na'Vi that might want to go in there. Yeah, and there they go. Let's see how fast they can get there. There goes the Moonlight Shadow. Sage Ward is there for the Radiant side, so they will see them. Yeah, they'll see them. The ping goes off. They know they have to be safe. BCC though might be slightly out of position. Here they come. Light Striker Ray misses, and he's up into the high ground fast enough. The Impale still hits up on the Bane. Rocket Barrage here up on Karoki, who's able to get himself out of there with the Shadow Blade that he acquired.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Tier 1 taking a lot of damage. That map control that I was talking about slowly evaporating there. Torrent, X mark the spot. Arrow, boat, BZZ, the target of everything here as the Clockwork is able to help kill off the Nyx Assassin. Karoki coming in here as well, takes a bit of damage. BZZ stuck inside the Sprout, as Yol also will take a fight after BZZ already dropping. Or will he? Or will Karoki die? He will die! But Bane, he gave his life for that one. Double kill going away for Dendi. It's a 3-for-2 exchange. Still nice that RoX were able to get 2 kills out of that, but they did lose 3 and a tower. And a lot of map control with that. And we've seen this often. Dendi likes to build Blink Daggers. We've seen him with Blink Dagger Dragon Knight, Blink Dagger Sniper, and now Blink Dagger Mirana. Well, Blink Daggers are good. you know?
Yeah, you can't rely on leap for getting in fights. You gotta rely on blink dagger for getting in fights so you can leap out when he overextends.
Yes. Exactly that. Well, we'll see them picking that up. So we'll see how he uses that. It'll be good to see. It'll be fun to see anyway. In the meantime, Funnick hasn't really gotten any items just yet, apart from his Hand of Midas that he still ended up picking up. 2,300 gold in his inventory. And we're yet to see if he wants to go for a bit of a semi-carry build, or if he rather wants to go for a bit of supporty-ish still build. And of course maybe opening up for our men to go for a bit more aggressive build, as we also haven't seen what he is going to build up. He picked himself up the mana boots. We see Puppy with the mana boots as well as with the urn. Just checking some more items if we see some funky stuff there. We already saw the Shadow Blade up on Kuroki as well. On BZZ we have got that BKB. I believe it is ready. No. Just needs that min through hammer. That's actually 1,600 gold away. That is quite unfortunate. I thought he was closer to that, but 1,600 gold until he has the BKB. We do already have the mech, and Tread's now also up on Yule. And other than that, in terms of items, not really anything substantial apart from the Blink Dagger up on Magnus.
Yeah, they were from BZZ went from farming pretty well to falling kind of far behind. It still will have a quick BKB if he gets it in the near future, but would have had it by now if he hadn't died the couple times that he's died at this point. He's actually died 3 times now.
Yeah, it looks like Na'Vi, they will be able to take this Roshan without any interaction, even though we might see someone trying to do it. Oh, Central Ward got countered. Our men, it might be some trouble. Gets a double impale anyway, waiting for his team to go in. Arrow will miss, but they still want to go in. Cooldown coming down. Torn still up on the Bane, and the Bane drops the first one. There goes the RP. Boat flies in still though. Solo. BZZ Dread. Whole get hit by that, and of course the boat buff allowing Na'Vi to maybe exit this. They are in the Moonlight Shadow as well. Shockwave still does a lot of damage. Kuroki might still go down. One more hit needed, or maybe a blind something. No, that boat buff. Lina still ends up going in. Flare comes in, doesn't hit. They can't find anyone. There is the dust. It's still hit up on Funnick. Can they still find him? Homing missile might be able to chase it. They don't have vision though. There is the cogs. That will help them out, and that will allow them to kill off Funnick still. But oh my god, what an awkward fight that was.
Yeah, it was a really strange fight. It goes completely in favor of RoX. They didn't lose anyone, right? Vanscore went down.
Yeah, they didn't lose anybody.
No, Vanscore went down to Marana, but they got 3 kills.
He was the first one. He was the first one to drop. But they get so much in return. They get a very low Kuroki though. They get everybody very low. If they just had a couple of sentries or a gem, that would have made that fight go completely in their direction. Without just... it went in their direction right now as well, but they did still lose. The Roshan and the Aegis is still up on the Kunkka, so it would have made a difference.
First time Blink Dagger picked up in over a year. When's the last? How often does Marana get picked up in that last year? There was like a couple times I think in the Eastern qualifiers, but we don't really see Marana get played, so it's not even really that exciting or anything.
Yeah, he has picked up a Yasha. I mean, it is. Maybe this is the new meta, you know? Marana Blink Dagger, or Dragon Knight Blink Dagger, Sniper Blink Dagger. We can all see it. Blink Daggers, in general, on everything. Going back to, what was it? 6.438?
6.438.
84
times, that seems crazy.
That is quite a lot, actually.
I don't know who's picking up Marana all the time.
Must be Eastern Noda. Because we don't see her all that often. Yeah, I mean the Blink Dagger era. Maybe it was 4.4. I don't know.
Well, I don't think it was 4 point. That's like 10 years ago or something.
I mean the era of Virtus Pro dominating Dota 1.
Oh jeez, I don't even know when that was. That's a while ago.
Vegas and Arsard nominated King of Gankers.
Yeah, that's a while ago. That's years and years and years ago. I don't even... It would have been... I think it would have been 6.4s.
Yeah, 6.43B, I think. But... until 6.48B. Oh, hookshot! Nicely done, it's Kuroki. No escape for him, the Shockwave comes in as well. That's the Aegis gone. They don't go in anymore, they do have an RP. They also now have a gem, by the way, so that's great. That's something that they really needed.
Yeah, as long as Solo can survive in the fights, the gem is going to do a lot of work. For this, covering this Moonlight Shadow in particular, them being able to all go invisible and just run in different directions is still sort of a thing, and they only have 1 gem. but we'll see if it ends up.
Yeah, you can at least follow the key targets.
Right. So it's definitely an important pickup here. They also have Nyx Assassin who's gonna try and stealth in, Shadowblade and Kunkka, and I guess Shadowblade is up on Funnick as well. So they have a lot of invisibility right now. The gem's kind of a huge deal.
Yeah.
And it can't be killed anymore.
Can't be killed anymore. And on the side of RoX, of course, I mean, they don't really have Shadowblades or that kind of stuff. They do have the BKB now up on BZZ. But the only thing that they would lose is the map control in terms of wards, which is of course unfortunate, but right now they're not doing too great on that anyway. So even if they lose it, it's a lot of a less big deal than it is to than it would be to Na'Vi to lose a gem if they had it, as we see Enchantress go down. Well, we didn't actually see it, but Dendy getting the kill there in the end. And Funnick still sitting around here. There is of course a gem, so they indeed see that they want to go in, they blink away. Here comes an arrow. Nice dodge.
Yeah, he almost walked back into it.
Yeah.
So. Gets it away though.
Yeah, 5 heroes from Na'Vi in the jungle here.
And our men is actually smoked up, not Vendetta, so doesn't look like they're going to be able to really find anything here. RoX are kind of aware of it, playing defensive as a result. Looks like Kuro going to finally farm those ancient stacks.
No, he is not the fast. We saw of course Puppy already stacking up very early on, but they don't really have anyone that's really secure in farming those ancients apart from indeed Kuroki when he has enough damage with the Shadowblade, and otherwise Funnick with his Treants. But if you have a very big army, those Treants won't survive very long, as we already see them going down fairly fast. But that splash damage making a big difference, and Kuroki getting a lot of extra gold from that. And will sit on 1700 gold. He picked himself up a Perseverance, so might still go for Battle Fury, you think?
That's... I'm trying to think of what else Perseverance would go into that he would want. It's looking like it would probably be that, unless he wants Bloodstone because he really wants to kill himself. I can't imagine it's going to be a Refresher, which that seems kind of crazy.
Know, maybe he really does want to have...
He wants double votes?
The Bloodstone, so that he can kill himself. I mean, you don't know that. We don't know what Navi's, what's going on in their heads. I mean, Blink Dagger Mirana, we weren't expecting that.
That's true. So if he wants Bloodstone, he is like 900 gold off. If he wants Battle Fury, he's like 100 gold off. So we'll get to see at least between those in a while. There's also Lincolns. Wouldn't expect to see Lincolns really either. I guess it's good against the ult for Bane.
Dread. Nuke shots in, up on our men. The Spike Carapace is there though, and the Shockwave also hits on that. But they will still be able to pick him up, or will they not? Dendy in the end goes down. That was a Fiend Script using for that, and Dread going off as well. Great split up fight again. And we see instantly Vanscore smoking up. He's going by himself. Not quite sure where he's heading to, as they need to be on the bottom lane, or top lane rather, to defend from Puppy and Kuroki. Just pushing down on the tier 2 here, with Funnick TPing in as well. Here comes the TP from Yol. Let's see what they can do. There's still, of course, the RP that wasn't used in that fight.
And Kuro went Battle Fury.
Ah.
So he did pick it up. It does give him more damage and some regen that maybe he really wants. It's just hard to say whether or not whether the cleave is really valuable here. I don't know, especially getting it sort of after other items.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that, by the way, for people who still set on that buyback screen there. Didn't mean to do that. We have the net worth, of course, very much in favor. Well, I say very much. It's actually just averagely in favor of Kuroki, with about 100 gold ahead of BZZ. In terms of course, the gold graph, we have got it in favor of Na'Vi. But it's a 24-minute game. It is about 5,500 gold in favor of Na'Vi. And that's not really that big of a difference. That is, with one big team fight, it's gone. If it goes the way of RoX, that is.
Yeah, it's a pretty close game thus far. As long as they don't lose a really big team fight, they'll still be a lead. And okay, Yol taking some damage in the mid lane. That splash with the Shadowblade does a lot right now.
Yeah.
Come on,
That's kind of what RoX have to be aware of. There's a lot of AoE coming out from Na'Vi. They have not quite so much with heroes like Bane. Battlefield picked up with only 3% Kunkka matches. Not really that surprising, since it is usually seen as kind of a hard farming item.
And a pup item as well, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, pubs like to pick up Battlefield and all sorts of heroes, so... Because everyone loves to farm. But yeah, we don't really see it that often on Kunkka, and it's, again, not surprising at all. Kuro farming in the top lane, get free kills from Enchantress, I guess. Just feeding him neutral creeps.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough one to take for RoX.KIS. It is a lot of pressure on that Magnus because I mean we just said one team fight can make it even again for the gold graph at least. But if RoX doesn't get those team fights, they don't really have that much else. They have got the Fiend Script and the hook shot to try and get some ganks up, trying to get some ganks going, which is great. But they need those team fights to be on par. They need those RPs to hit properly. And the thing is, Na'Vi, if that RP doesn't hit properly, they can turn around and have a lot of AoE damage of their own as well, as you already pointed out. I mean, that's Kunkka's splash. It's no joke. It's no joke, indeed, and that's gonna be tough. I mean, there's a lot of pressure up on solo right now.
Yeah, and just like you're saying, Ron.
Wait, he blinks it. He goes on Dendy. Hook shot in. TP in from Funnick, but it's gonna be too late. Dendy already dead, and the Shadow Blade should allow him to get away. Yeah, Funnick will run. Well, that's a way that you can do it as well. Don't go for those team fights, just go for those pickoffs, and it will, of course, slow Na'Vi's pushes down.
Yeah, and they keep getting those kills on Dendy. They use RP for it, though, so Na'Vi do have an opportunity to try and just force an issue. Dendy isn't really key to these fights. He doesn't have really the AoE like some of these other heroes do. Like, if they lose Kuro, it's a lot harder for them to fight. If they lose Puppy, it's probably pretty difficult as well. Lina has a lot of burst damage. But they're pushing in the mid lane for RoX right now, and they're going to get this tower for free.
Yeah, Roshan is going to be up again soon, though. And it looks like they are not going to be allowed to go for it, because on the top lane we already have the push coming. Kuroki and Funnick trying to go for the tier 2, but the TPs come in. Solo looking for a pickup. He is, of course, the one with the gem. He blinks in. He finds the right one. Screws him back towards where Dread is. They do see him. He can't TP out. The Sprout locks him in, tied together with Solo, and the Cog stopping from TPing out. Torn's still there, but it doesn't do anything anymore. Dread with the kill. Nicely done, but again, they can't go for Roshan, which is, of course, the target that they want to get right now. That's why we see these movements. These ganks are needed to stop the opponent team from taking Rosh. We also see our man on the hunt. Wants to try and find someone. Won't be able to do that, though.
Yeah, they're all grouped up from RoX.KIS, and you should probably be expecting this, but maybe just hoping to scout them out a little bit and set up for Roshan. Not going to have too much success, probably looking to see him just head out of that jungle momentarily. And Roshan looking like it's in kind of RoX's favor right now to go for it. They have the better positioning, they have all their heroes up. Funnick's still down for 20 seconds.
He can buy back though. But in 19 seconds there, you're right. I mean, is that really worth it buying back, or do they just want to give up Rosh?
Well, Kuro's still in the top lane farming. It looks like they're giving it up. It's already half HP. They get one tower. Dendy gonna throw an arrow. Yeah.
Actually misses or hits some Roshan.
It hits Roshan. That's so good for RoX.
That's so good for RoX. So Light Strike Ray still hits a lot, but Gyro still with the Aegis pick up. And that arrow, it was just the longest arrow ever and still hit Roshan. Dendy might be in some trouble now if he finds... yeah, that's gonna be them. Oh, homing missile just to scare him off. Oh well. RoX.KIS with the Roshan, with the Aegis. I think pretty solid position for them right now, even though slightly ahead on still on the golden experience, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah, things could be worse for them. They get a deny in the bottom tier 2. So they end up losing effectively 2 towers for that Roshan, 2 tier 2s. They get the deny on one of them though, which is okay. And that leaves them with only that tier 2 in the mid lane remaining, but it's pretty close to full HP. Aghanim Scepter picked up on Dread on the Clockwork.
Yeah, so that will allow them to be more evasive with the hooks, have more hooks. I mean, if they don't want to be, if they're not confident in that team fight potential that they have, if they don't have the confidence that they will hit that big RP that they need to actually win a 5-on-5 team fight, then pickoffs are going to be all the more important. And Dread, of course, is a large factor in that, because if you can flare, find target, hookshot in, that person, that target is going to be dead very fast. Wow, the support puppy Lina with the BKB right now. We saw him building it earlier. He actually finished it up fairly fast, as I apparently have some bugs with TP scroll thingies, animations in the fountain. We do also have the Scythe of Ice now up on Funnick, so that will make a big difference in the next fight as well. We still don't have anything else up on Dendy though. He hasn't finished up his Mata style. After Yasha and Blink Dagger, he hasn't been able to find anything or pick up anything just yet. So I'm kind of curious to see if he's gonna finish up the Yasha or it goes for something else instead. Oh, hook shot. It hits. Up on Kuroki. Nice strike array up on Dread though. Laguna Blade as well as the Impale. Mechanism might help him. BKB gets turned on by BZZ. Cooldown comes down, but Puppy, he gets an RP together with 2 of his teammates. Screw it back. It is Kunkka that still ends up dropping. Nice life strike array though. Solo taking a lot of damage, will be forced back. That's a Hex up on Bound. Score goes down. It is Puppy that still ends up dropping. There goes the Aegis up on BZZ. Kuroki with the buyback, coming back to take a kill. Torrent hitting up on BZZ, Light Strike Array up on 2 as well, and they just can't get away. And double kill, ultra kill, actually, for the Lina. That is a BKB Lina, and the only reason she survived was because of that BKB, because she didn't get skewered back together with the rest of the targets that got RP'd.
She actually bought back.
She did bought back.
Yeah, she died and bought back. Both her and Kuro bought back and completely won that fight for Na'Vi on the back of the buybacks. Just porting into the mid-tier 2, they fought right on top of that tower, so those buybacks were very powerful from Na'Vi. And RoX now solo the only one kind of in the mid lane.
Yeah, well, they want to go though. There's the hookshot already up on Kuro. BZZ comes back to get Hex, to get stunned, to get Laguna bladed, and to get voted, and that's a kill. It is Nature's Prophet with a double. Dread gonna get X marks the spot, in a lot of trouble for him as well. And that is Na'Vi maybe going high ground with a fight that they didn't initiate. Another kill going the way of Nature's Prophet. Dread going down in the end still as well. Even with that Enfeeble up on the Nature's Prophet, the right click damage still too much. Even though it's really little actually.
Yeah.
With that Enfeeble up on him. It is Enfeeble level 4. He did max it out over Nightmare, interesting to note.
Yeah, I've seen more and more Bane players actually doing that, just because of how powerful Enfeeble really can be in these fights. Heroes usually do more than 120 damage, so you're getting the full effect of it by the time Bane is really getting into those higher levels, like the level 9,
oh,
10
Solo. Actually. Oh, Solo. He gets hexed, he gets impaled, and torrented, and Light Strike Arrayed. That was just him being, I don't know why he was there, it's just being him being a bit awkward, because you just lost a fight mid, you don't have vision, or you have some vision, but you didn't see anybody backing off. Yeah, that's trouble. Bo blinking, impale, Vanscore in some trouble. Those disables are really killing RoX right now. Boat comes in, Dread gonna get stunned up inside of his own cogs. Looks like he might not be able to survive those hits from Lina chasing him down. He ends up going down, Puppy with the kill. There still is a very low Nature's Prophet there, but he is invisible, and he is not gonna go down now either, with the boat buff of course helping him out. They don't take the tier 3, so that is something that RoX can be glad about, but wow. I mean, you just see the combination. One stun leads to the Torrent, leads to the Light Strike Array. You can't get away.
Yeah, and they almost take the tier 3, and that was sort of on the back of a fight that RoX set up. So they're Na'Vi probably not feeling terrible about not getting tier 3.
He got arrowed. Got saved though, BZZ there with the saving Rocket Barrage. And BZZ, he's building towards Butterfly.
Yeah, and we have Daedalus on Kunkka now.
Oh.
So there's always the chance that RoX are just going to die.
In one hit.
Take so much AoE cleave damage with the Shadow Blade, the Daedalus, and the Splash that they might just all, at least the supports, probably go down almost immediately. Like, Vanscore's got like 1200 HP. That's about how much he's probably going to be doing with these crits if he hits a creep. And it's going to be rough for them now. This AoE is pretty tough, and they're already struggling, and now they're getting bigger and bigger items up on the side of Na'Vi.
And that is indeed a very fed puppy. 123 right now last hits, which is double the amount that normal Lina has. Yeah, that is a pretty fat one. Not that often that a BKB gets picked up on her. Normally it's first you go for a Blink Dagger if you are having that gold as support. But she doesn't really need it, because there's a Blink Dagger up on the Nyx Assassin. So she doesn't really have to rush to get in her stun, because there is already someone that does it for her. And then there's a Torrent which is able to get cast at long range, so again, something that sets up the stuns for her.
Yeah, and RMN's stun in the Nyx Assassin is a lot more reliable than a Light Strike Array is, even with the Blink Dagger. So it's better off on him, and she can just end up building survivability as a result, and just try and stay alive in the fight, steal as much damage as possible. And of course, Lina can do a lot of auto attack damage as she's spamming these spells out, so if she's alive in fights and not stunned up, just casting spells constantly and throwing out auto attacks, she can do a lot of damage. And RoX kind of crumbling under the amount of damage that Na'Vi can do right now.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is still there. There is a Magnus on the field. And the thing that's always said, like, if you have a Magnus and things are looking grim, one good RP can totally get you back into the game. And that's still the factor. So RoX, they're holding on. They're just waiting for that perfect RP, for that perfect opportunity, and maybe pick off people in the meantime, trying to find where Na'Vi is, and trying to not in the meantime get caught out of position, because of course then they will die. And it's a very tough situation fighting from behind, and maybe until the next Roshan we won't really have that much action, as of course Na'Vi also had a bit of trouble fighting up against RoX.KIS. I mean, they end up winning a fight, but they don't get up the high ground.
Yeah, they don't manage to break high ground. They do a lot of damage to that tier 3 tower in the top lane though, and it was kind of almost incidental since they won a fight and took a tier 2 off of it in that mid lane before even heading towards the top tier 3. Roshan definitely going to be the next point of contention, it feels like, though, with Na'Vi not trying to pressure right now.
Oh, fan score. He gets arrowed. Na'Vi goes in. No, don't go in on him. Wow. Very careful there. Thinking they were going to get counter-initiated with BCZ walking a bit back there. No vision there for them either. So, oh, blinking forward. Dandy still invisible. Arrow still hits with the Hex there as well. But again, they can't go in. And now with the Hex on cooldown, they feel confident. Torn will miss, hookshot will hit. It is Nature's Prophet that they catch. The dust already flown. Here comes a blink in and an RP and skewer back towards the cogs. That is 3 dead on the side of Na'Vi, and that's the fight that RoX were hoping for. Pure overextension from Na'Vi. Trying to go for that, trying to find those supports. But not able to do that as Puppey just lands himself some spells to walk faster to get away from that situation. And they need to run. There is vision there. And that hookshot is no joke. And with that Aghanims, it is up on a very low cooldown. So Dread would have been able to get there. Enchantress now finishes up her Aghanims. So RoX.KIS, their potential to fight just increased by a hell of a lot. Because also the Butterfly is now completed. Oh, Dread, X marks the spot. Torn's gonna be there. But the cogs, never mind, the crits are still too much. That was just, that was a very sad Dread in the end. Yes, and that's probably also what he says in Russian there.
Yeah, really weird fight from Na'Vi to try and take. They go for it, then they back off. Then Funna comes in, he's like, no, we gotta go for this. And they go in again, and then they land their spells and back off again.
But
and just get initiated on. Like, they could have gotten out clean several times. Dendi was the only one there first, and he was completely fine with just backing off after he realized he couldn't burst fan score down in time. Then they keep chasing, and they just can't. They kind of back and forth whether or not they want to commit, and it ends up getting them killed.
Yeah, we got a battle Lina on our hands here.
What has he picked up now?
He's going for
MKB?
MKB.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm actually liking this, not just because it is funny to watch, but it's also pretty neat to have if you are trying to go up high ground. Lina can attack very fast, has a pretty long attack range as well, and now can just from the low ground not miss anymore and take those tier 3 towers down fairly simple. Without really, I mean, if you're RoX.KIS, you're not gonna focus on a Lina. You're focusing your big spells up on Kuroki and up on Dendi, and even Funnick is a higher priority target, as Funnick actually also going for an MKB by the looks of it. But that means that Lina will be left alone, and this would be the second time if she does go for that MKB, that MKB is there, and we're gonna assume that Puppey will be building that, and by the looks of it, he will be able to finish it as well, because this game will probably will go on until the next Roshan fight here happens, which is up again in less than a minute.
Yeah, it's a good thing to have. We'll see if it ends up working out for them if they're able to get it up in the near future. It's sort of unusual, but Puppey is being allowed to farm in their jungle, since no one else on Na'Vi is really doing that at the moment. So he should have it in the near future. I'll have that BKB, of course, as well, so we'll be able to put out a lot of right-click damage, and that's probably going to catch RoX.KIS a little bit off guard, since they're not going to be used to thinking about Lina in this fashion.
Oh, Dread in a lot of trouble here. He gets hexed, he gets stunned. Moonlight Shadow there, but that's actually for the other side. Oh, or not. RP up on 2, Skewer towards nothingness. They do have that gem still up on the Magnus, but he doesn't have any supports here. And if they take him down, they'll lose a gem. And that's a big loss. Tor Laguna Blade. Hello, Puppey. Welcome back to the fight. And that's a gem on the floor.
Yeah, and that's also soloed down with no buyback, which is actually a bigger deal. Yeah, and they're going to keep going.
Yeah, they're looking for BCZ right now. Let's see, blink in, and BKB TP out. That should be smart. I mean, the Moonlight Shadow was used for Denny to get away from that bottom lane to be out in safety, so that's why we saw that used. But they were able to pick up 2 kills, and the gem is a big deal. Of course, we already mentioned the Moonlight Shadow and the way to just scatter after popping that, and just with that also scattering rocks, and then maybe go in again, as we know that the burst damage of Kunkka is quite high, so he's actually picked up his 2nd Chrysalis now, because that's cool. Lincoln Sphere up on Marana as the next item. But yeah, Lincoln Sphere, of course, because of the Fiend's Grip. But that's the next Aegis going the way of Na'Vi, with the cheese up on there as well. MKB ready up on Lina, second time in Dota history since the stats actually got built for Dota 2 actually, I guess. Yeah, that doesn't happen often. Since TI2, I think we can call it that. Because I don't think that before TI2 there were that many games recorded by that website. But doesn't matter. This is tough. Oh, this is a door. Mirana's Dandy has someone at the door. Hopefully for him, it is pizza.
Yeah, he needs a pizza right now. No. Of this match. Ordered a pizza, got here a little too early. Maybe they thought they were going to be done by now.
Well, official starting time of the previous match is of the next match is 10 minutes ago. So yeah. Don't worry, by the way. KP versus IC Cup. We'll wait until this one is over, and after that, of course, it is KP versus Mouseport. So 2 more games for StarLadder tonight. After this one, if this one will ever end, well, it will. But we have 40 minutes of game time right now. We did start a bit later as well, of course. The butterfly on Dread's complete. Oh, that's an arrow. Lincoln's there already used, so that is a fiend script. Oh, actually, that was a homing missile, was it? Maybe it was. Yo, trouble. Moonlight Shadow, no gem, no sentries. This is trouble for RoX. They have to get away.
Yeah, they have to be careful. The initiation from Na'Vi can be very powerful if they're all suddenly in the middle of them and they don't have any sight. So they have to, like, Moonlight Shadow is amazing if you have no reveal on the other side. Normally they have this gem, but of course with the gem stolen because Solo died, they're kind of in a weird position.
You can vote. Vote fast. YOLO with the capital letters, in this case sensitive. Deso, Orchid, Dead, or MKB. And with that is of course Deadless. Favorite build up on Lina. As MKB now also picked up on the Nature's Prophet. And he still has 2700 gold left, so he can also still buy back. He's just happily farming, knowing that if the fight starts off, he can just casually TP in and still be in that fight quite safely.
Yeah, and they really went for MKB just because they want to be able to kill BZZ. He has that butterfly.
X marked the spot in that.
It was a blink and then a leap while he was X marks the spot to go in and just do damage. Like, super cheesy. It doesn't really do anything except them try and make them initiate on him, and then he gets away. But kind of hilarious, and they back out with it. Na'Vi's just not really forcing the issue. Satanic picked up now on the gyrocopters, kind of a big pickup. So I don't know how long Na'Vi are gonna wait.
Me neither, and I'm actually thinking if they wait for a little while longer, BZ will of course start building a rapier, because that is still something that is pretty viable. We do have Na'Vi now going in, maybe actually, maybe not. Maybe not. They are looking for arrows, looking for pickups, looking for something to do before going high ground by the looks of it, but I don't think that RoX is gonna let themselves get caught out right now. Not anymore anyways. Oh wow, yeah, that was another blink. Okay.
Yeah. Keep hearing the blink noises.
Yeah, I'm hearing the blink noises and
Dandy's
I'm thinking...
catching, like, oh no.
Yeah.
The initiation from Magnus.
I think so too. Oh, Impale. BZZ taking a lot of damage. There comes the RP. Hits up on 2. Skewer hits up on 2 as well. Puppy still standing there though. There goes the Aegis. Cooldown coming down. BZZ already used his Satanic. It is our man that goes down. The Gem of Truth on the floor. Puppy taking a lot of damage. Will actually be able to help kill off BZZ still though, but goes down himself as Solo gets sprouted up. Can't get away from Funnick, dominating a triple kill as Yol able to pick up Dandy and now gets teased down by Kuroki, who's got 2 Deadlesses, has not got X mark spot, does have Torrent again, goes for 1 hit and gets it as well, because that just hurts.
And we actually have 2 gems on the ground directly next to each other. Right there.
Nice.
Just floating around, no big deal.
Yep, and they don't need it right now anymore. I mean, there's no buybacks, I believe, up on RoX. No buybacks. Dandy was the one that bought back. He is back into the fight, back to help kill off these Rex. He took one of the gems. Melee Rex, ranged Rex will go down and they'll probably rotate top. In the meantime, the creeps of course did their job and took down that very low HP tier 3 tower there already and already started on the Rex as well. So I'm thinking this could be it. This probably will be a game, but we know RoX, they don't really normally give up even if it's looking like this. So who knows?
Yeah, things are going to be really tough for them right now. They're probably going to just move to the bottom lane and deal some damage to tier 3. They might just back off as well if they're a little bit concerned that they won't have the time and they don't want to get caught out by like cogs. And that could buy enough time for Solo to get back up, and it looks like that's going to be the goal.
Back so soon?
Did you see that? Yeah. Funny tried to TP out, and indeed X marked the spot, got him right back. So a bit trolling going on here from Kuroki, as he's got 5100 gold, he's got 2 deadlesses, and he just wants to go for the next lane. He's already there, or Men is already there, just waiting for the rest of Na'Vi to also be there. They are quite careful, I have to say.
Well, that last fight was pretty hard fought for them.
Ah!
They didn't...
Look.
Oh, great.
Is it a Vine Rapier?
Yeah, great. Alright.
Yes.
So he's going to be doing a lot of damage. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite them.
A gyrocopter with a rapier, we know what that can do. So if they do catch him, and with a clockwork on the map, that is definitely a possibility, you know. And it's yeah.
But if Gyro picks it up and then dies because he's also very killable, and Kunkka picks it up,
maybe that's their secret plan.
Secret strats. They
secret
want the
strats. They're gonna suicide
50
one.
gold off of a rapier of his own.
Yeah.
So he might be picking that up as well. Obviously, Na'Vi have no qualms about picking up rapiers right now. If Funnick's picking one up,
maybe so that's the reason why you got X marked the spot, because
and there's a courier just sitting right at the secret shop, waiting. Oh no.
Oh yep,
oh, no.
That's a rapier for Kunkka. This could be a one-shot for the entire RoX team. I think everybody would die from that, would they? Gyrocopter would be tough.
Yeah, Gyrocopter's pretty tanky.
Here he comes, here he comes, here he comes. No, never mind that. Can't get it. No. Hook shot in. Whoa, dust. It's a creep only though. Oh, arrow misses. Still hits up on Yol on the back end. Red. Light Strike Array on the edge. Hits. Laguna Blade will finish him off. Here comes Blink here from R&M. Gets BZZ. RP is gonna be too late. He does get it, but there's nobody to do the damage anymore, and there's just 2 left alive for RoX, and those 2 will die as well. GG gets called. Na'Vi take another game in StarLadder Season 6. Day number 20, and we are going to be jumping ourselves right into the next game. Apparently, we are not allowed to see the... well, we are going to be seeing the end screen, but we're going to not do a very long outro, because we will be jumping ourselves into KP versus IC Cup, which will be starting right now. So stick around for more Dota 2 action, as Rapier YOLO was indeed the way to go for Lina. So we'll be right back. Pause if you want to continue seeing the end screen, and stick around if you don't. And yeah, stick around. So I already said that, I think, 3 times. Let's go.